Welcome back, Dodecadorks. We're the 12-sided guys. We have Scott as Ornan.
At your service.
Sabrina as Cilvy.
Oh, hello.
Jordan as Mawgrim.
You're most welcome.
Matt as Guy.
That is my name. Don't wear it out.
And me, Paul, as the office gossip. And let me tell you, there are some juicy rumors floating around the water cooler. Now, you didn't hear it from me, but apparently word around the water cooler is there's new merch available at the 12sidedguys.com shop. It's a Pahoftma shirt, and apparently Gladys over in Accounts Receivable got one, and now she's getting tons of action. Like, tons of action.
Oh, no, she didn't.
Gladys, that
Gladys? No way.
Oh, and you didn't hear it from me, but apparently word around the water cooler is that people who leave a review of the 12-Sided Guys podcast on iTunes or whichever podcast app allows reviews gets tons of action. Brodemus over in Logistics left a review, and now he gets tons of action. Tons of action.
You and I are actually really close.
Brodemus. With a name like Brodemus, you know?
I'm still waiting on those TPS reports from Brodemus, though.
He's too busy slamming hoes.
Right in the scrotumus.
And leaving reviews. More importantly, leaving reviews.
Well, you didn't hear it from me, but apparently word around the water cooler is... Can you tell I've never worked in an office? But you didn't hear it from me. But apparently, patrons of the 12-Sided Guys podcast not only get bonus content like after shows, a wiki and maps and other stuff, but they also get tons of action. Jehoshaphat over in Theoretical Alchemical Manipulation has been a patron for a while now, and he gets tons of action. I mean, tons of action.
So much action.
Anyway, if you ever hear rumors that a brain burnt guy found out on the street got geeked by some gangers, then this podcast is for you.
I already got geeked.
It's Chorus of the Forsaken, episode 34. Can you tell I've never worked in an office environment?
Most of the gossip isn't about all the action people are getting.
But it does take place around the water cooler, right? Am I right about that at least?
We have a soda machine.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's not really a water cooler anymore.
You mean TV has lied to me?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. Oh, man. Am I the only one who knew what the game was you were referencing?
You got a Decker who's going to hack into the Matrix, or I don't know what they call it.
Shadowrun, right?
It is Shadowrun. Yes.
I already got geeked.
I may have used that one 3 years ago, honestly. Now that I'm thinking back on it.
I've always wanted to run that RPG, that system.
Oh, see, I didn't want to run the system. I just wanted to run the game. Anyway, well, welcome back to Via. No, I mean, I wanted to run.
Don't get that statement.
I wanted to run a game in the world, but I didn't want to use the Shadowrun system.
Okay, kind of I'm playing Oathsworn with some guys, and the world there is so cool and unique, and I'd love to play just D&D in that world. But it's kind of like a what's that? Grim Hollow. It's like a great big huge role playing game with lots of boxes.
Oh, gotcha. Very cool. All right. Well, welcome back to Via Severia and to the town of Martin's Rest. Last time we were together,
He swatted a dude on the.
Well, we accompanied Wilhelm Associates as well as their two allies, Prelate Annalise and Danon, the dwarven bard, from Redlam all the way to Martin's Rest. Along the way, in addition to the stories that our listeners have already heard, we got to get to know a little bit more about our characters and specifically Prelate Annalise as she got to know you. She asked multiple questions and got some interesting responses. Also, Danon rode a goat.
And the chicken.
The cutest. Oh, yeah, the chicken was pretty cute,
Yes,
too.
and a chicken. Yes, there was a giant chicken that Danon rode.
Okay, but she didn't share the milk.
No, no, she did not.
That greedy.
She also suckled on the goat teats, which I think is a little bit weird, but I'm not one to judge.
Yeah, as I recall, the goat had decided to head back to Redlam to her boyfriend, Sir Bleats-a-Lot. Yes. Yes. Okay.
It's a terrible rapping name.
Hey, wait, wasn't Sir Bleats-a-Lot in L.A.? That rap group, L.A.?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well as conversations with Annalise during the travels, we also had some back and forth between Guy and Dilar, the young Pahaftma that was rescued from Knuckle Creek by Aeonin Inquisitor
Gladys over in accounts receivable.
the young elven Pahaftma who was rescued back in Baragrad, who our heroes accompanied to Redlam and handed off for safekeeping. He informed you about some of the goings-on with the armada from the Baron of Alaron, who is traveling down the river towards Myrloth. Apparently a ship sank at Whitaker Bend, a very treacherous part of the river. But the rest of
Widow's Whitaker's Wake, I've heard it called.
Yes.
Ooh.
Widowmaker Bend is the
or
nickname.
WWW.
Yes. As our players continued on, they arrived at what looked like the remnant of a small battle between some paladins and followers of Helm, as well as some of the local militia from Martin's Rest, with a group of bandits, many of whom were being held in a small staked off pit full of water, some of them looking very, very bad. As our heroes spoke with the paladins of Helm, they found out that Martin's Rest had been being harassed by this group of bandits, and now the bandits had gone not only from the east side of the river, but they had come across to the west side of the river as well to bother and harass the people of Martin's Rest. So the Temple of Helm had decided to take up arms against them. The Wilhelm Associates were then instructed that they were very close to Martin's Rest, and they arrived at South Bank, which is a small village on the southeastern side of the river, and they caught a ferry to Martin's Rest, the much larger
We got more than a ferry.
We'll get there. The much larger town on the other side of the river, where the Temple of Helm, as well as a small Temple of Aeona, and some manors on an island out in the middle of the river, where they all are situated. Guy spotted someone that he knew from his past, a man named Corwin Frostborn, who ran one of these keel boats, one of these barges that ferries people across the river from South Bank to Martin's Rest, as well as further up and down the river. Guy and Corwin exchanged some flirtation and decided to meet up later at their normal haunt, which is the inn called the Northside Inn, a small inn on the north side of Martin's Rest. Our heroes then ventured up towards the Northside Inn, walking through Martin's Rest, and upon entering, getting ready for a meal, they spotted a well-dressed Leonin man who introduced himself as Neldor Martin, the son of the Count of Martin's Rest. He appeared to be a little bit drunk, and he was complaining about the Church of Helm and how the paladins and followers of Helm had been overstepping. In fact, they didn't even have to ask the Count for help. They just had to raise their banner, and the local militia, the guards of Martin's Rest, flocked to their banner to go and help fight off these thieves. Neldor felt that his family was losing power, and decided that what he needed to do was hire you guys to go with him, and you guys would then take out the bandits, get the credit, and get the authority back in the hands of the Martin family. Neldor...
Yeah, remind those peasants of their place.
And if there's blood, we get double.
Neldor, he offered you 10 golden bars to help him, which would be 1,000 gold pieces. And as I recall, didn't you guys say yes?
We said we need to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that money, I think, was we were starstruck a little bit, but I don't know if we want to agree.
As he left Northside Inn, he told you that you could come and talk to him at Martin Manor, which is the largest manor on the small island in the middle of the river, which has its own private dock and ship. And that is where we left off last time, in the Northside Inn in Martin's Rest. As you guys are here at this tavern/inn, you can see people are starting to fill in as it approaches dinner time. You see people meeting and finding their normal spots. You can tell that certain people have their stool. You know, one guy walks in and everyone goes, "Norm!" Right? That kind of feel. This is very much this is the kind of place where
everybody knows your name.
I was gonna say, where they know your name.
Knows your name.
Oh my gosh! No, but this is that kind of place where it is a. This is a place where people, it's a neighborhood bar. And there are rooms upstairs, which I think you guys...
The bartender used to play baseball.
Yes. You guys had gotten rooms up. No, you didn't get rooms yet, did you? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
We got rooms because I have a private room.
Yes, that's right. You guys got rooms upstairs here at the Northside Inn, but people are starting to fill in. This place is now getting this buzz of entertainment. Oh, and one last thing. Cilvy tried to get free room and board by saying she would perform, and the innkeeper said, "All right, let's see how well you do," and that's how much discount you get on your room. So here we are as people start filing into the inn. Prelate Annalise went off on her own to the small shrine of Iona to go and do some worship before she joins you.
Well, I'm not going to lie, everyone. 1,000 gold? That sounds very tempting. I know we're kind of heading somewhere, but how pressing is it, really? Could we spare a day or two?
I mean, it's a lot of cheddar to walk away from.
To be fair, I'm less concerned about the time constraint and a little bit more concerned about, I don't know if that guy deserves to get the credit. He kind of sucks.
Also, the more combat I participate in, the more I realize I'm maybe not optimally built for combat.
Hey, there were some things that were a little unsettling about those Helm priests and people. It struck me that these bandits were a little too organized. I fear that if we go and look into things, I might want to side with them.
With the bandits or with the...
I don't think that they're bandits.
Ah.
Oh.
Well, that could be interesting.
I mean, there is always a deeper story that should be understood, and perhaps it merits a little bit of time to understand some of the more intricacies of the situation here.
Right, you're right. They actually looked more like they looked less like bandits and more like raiders or pirates.
It could be.
Which is way more badass, if we're honest.
Is that really? They're really that way? It's not just like ship bandits. Like raiders and pirates are just ship bandits.
Oh, Cilvy, you have so much to learn about the world.
There's a couple of different types of pirates. There's privateers that are sanctioned by the government to do piracy, and they're considered pirates by every other government. But I don't think that's what's happening. It just seemed a little too organized, and I don't know. Something struck me as odd about those prisoners.
I wonder if we could get a chance to speak with them.
There are usually two sides to any one story. Perhaps speaking to the right people here in town, maybe even here at this bar, we might be able to find those who have a little bit more information.
As you guys are talking, you see Danon first. She comes walking in. She's still got like some straw stuck to her hair and stuff. You know that she was spending some time in the stable with the other animals. But she's now sitting at the bar getting a drink. And after she sits down, you see a man come walking in that you guys recognize from earlier in the day, and Guy recognizes from earlier in the life. Guy recognizes from a time not that long ago. You see this man coming in. He's got these piercing blue eyes. He's got this sort of like golden amber hair. Not amber hair. He's got this honey-colored hair
Amber
and this
waves
thick
of hair.
Exactly. And he's got this thick beard. As I recall, Guy had described his chest had the kind of the hairy chest that you could just lose yourself in or something like that. But you see this man, Corwin Frostborn, the captain of the Peppermint Mist, come walking into the Northside Inn. And he looks around and spots you, Guy, as well as your friends. He comes straight over.
I'll motion him over.
Oh yeah, he comes over, and you guys have a table up against the wall. He comes and he nods at all of you, and he takes a seat across the table from Yugi.
Corwin, we were having a little conversation before you arrived. What do you know of these bandits? Who are they? Who makes up their numbers? What are they asking for? Are they just robbing, or are they making demands?
Let me have
Do
him
they
make a
seem
check.
more swashbuckly or more bandity?
How thin were their mustaches?
Do they play baseball? Are they from
See a
Pittsburgh?
hook on a hand.
Oh my
Or
gosh!
a hook where a hand should be.
Is it Pittsburgh Pirates? Are they the baseball team?
Pittsburgh Pirates. Is
Yeah.
that Pittsburgh? Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't follow Major League Baseball.
We're such nerds. We're like, yeah, the baseball. I believe that they play the baseball.
The Nine Mets are my favorite baseball squadron.
Squadron.
So you ask Corwin about the bandits, and he says, "I haven't had much to do with the bandits. All I can tell you is that if one of us bargemen is ever caught taking any of them across the river or helping them in any way, even if we don't know that they are a part of this bandit group, that we will be tried as well. And there are a few of the bargemen who are currently in prison currently for accidentally helping these bandits. So we have to be incredibly careful about who we ferry across the river. I heard just now.
How do they have you do that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How do they have you, how do you decide who gets to go across and who doesn't?
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm very careful in that I only take people across who I know or who I've seen, or people who have a writ from, say, somebody here in town, like the Count Martin, or from Sir Fargus Steelshod, the head of the Church of Helm. There are other folks here in town who I trust, and so it's all about who you know. But I did hear, I was just down at the docks, just tying off the Peppermint Mist for the night, and
Great name, by the way. Have I ever told you how much I love the name of your little ship?
Yes, you have. He says, but I did hear that there were apparently some of the bandits have gotten across the river, and there was a scuffle across the river, and I don't know who, but somebody is going to get in trouble for that one.
And by trouble, do you mean, like, stretch the neck till they're dead, or?
Timeouts or lose your privileges.
A little spanking on the bare booty in
Right,
front of some people.
No more iPad for you, little man.
You said some people are in prison, so obviously it's not like, hey, you're caught and we immediately execute you. But what's the plan for the accused?
Oh, it's so questioning, from what I've heard, they are held in confinement for a number of weeks, and worst of all, their property is seized. So some of those ships down there, the barges down there at the river, those are now owned by, I guess, the town? I guess the Martins?
Not the Church of Helm?
Seems convenient if they're getting a whole bunch of land.
Yeah, we just got the impression that there was a little bit of conflict, like who is actually, benefiting from the seizure of some of these assets.
Yes, what's bothering me about all this is they keep calling them bandits, but in no description that we've heard are they actually stealing anything.
Oh, they're definitely stealing things. Very much. I've lost a chest right off my barge. It's happened. Yes. So what you guys have heard is that there have been burglaries and there have been some arsons. I think that you've heard potentially there have been some deaths as well, but that's definitely minor compared to the thievery.
Okay.
Well, here's the deal. The Martins, I don't they've seized some of the ships, but they just sit here. I mean, there's no one to pilot them. The Martins aren't hiring captains to pilot them across the river. They're just sitting here at this point. So I don't think that the Martin family they haven't figured out what to do about them yet. This is all fairly recent, just the last couple of months.
Maybe there could be more than just a payment in booty. Maybe we could also get booty.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Oh, the son of the count was in here earlier, and he basically offered us a job, having never just said, "Hey, you guys look tough. Do this for me, and you get money."
Which we do. We are tough.
He's like, I'm not going to lie.
They call me the Bloodhound.
It's like a 2 foot flute playing gnome. Real tough.
So what all magic gear are people wearing that is visible? I know that Guy has, even though your armor is mismatched, your breastplate, it does look intricate and fancy.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I have a queen's scepter as my weapon.
Yeah. I mean, Ornan is wearing
rocket girl.
Ornan is wearing an old-fashioned but very well-built and intricate helmet, right?
And he smells like egg salad.
Yummy,
and my
yummy.
backpack is amazing. No, I'm not wearing the cloak. I didn't attune to it. Anyone can wear it if they want.
If we want to smell like egg salad?
It's in my backpack, but
there's just
if we want to turn into a hellhound.
There is the slightest hint of sulfur smell.
I think the only thing I'm wearing is the bracelet.
Okay, so that's pretty easy to hide.
Mawgrim has boots of speed on, and then he's got his sentinel shield kind of near him.
Do you have that fan, the wind fan, bladed wind fan thing?
I guess I do. I don't know that I have that in my backpack. We didn't sell that. We still have that, don't we?
Nope. We still have it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I kept that in my inventory.
Well, I guess the reason why I asked is because you guys do look tough, right? You guys have seen some stuff. You've seen some, right? And you've got some scars to prove it, but you also are, whether you like it or not, you carry this air of experience. It's not hard to miss. Nobody's trying to hide it because nobody has told me that they're trying to hide it.
No, I'm trying to look tough. I'm trying to look like a knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were offered a job, and if there's extra boats lying around, I mean, you know how good I am with vehicles (parentheses water).
I know that you know all of your knots and lashings. Yes, I do know that.
oh dear. Well,
Is that what they call it these days?
Guy, you do not need to make a
out of
check.
it.
You feel somebody playing footsie with you.
Okay, well, I guess
it's not me. My feet aren't long enough.
he says. So, Neldor Martin. Yeah, he's the heir. He's the adopted son of Ernest Martin, the Count of Martin's Rest. He is a reliable guy. He's a warrior in his own right, actually.
Yeah, he looked like he could bite your head off. Literally.
Because of the sharp teeth. Yes, I get it. So you're thinking about helping him. Very interesting. Well, I mean, if you are going after these bandits and you see a chest that has CF carved into it, that's mine. If you bring that back to me, I would very much appreciate it.
All right, we'll keep an eye out if we decide to do it. We literally just sat down and started talking about this.
Well, he says, well, I'm going to go get some food. I'll give you guys some space to talk if that's what you want to do. But Guy, I'd really love to catch up maybe later tonight.
Yeah, I'd be up for a nightcap later.
I'll be up too. Okay. You guys want to talk more about this, or do you guys want to go over to Martin's Manor? Do you talk with Neldor more, or
are you jealous, Ornan? I mean, what's the dwarf's name again?
Wait, of his tent?
No. What's the dwarf girl's name again?
Her name Danon.
I'll say, What's the matter, Ornan? Are you jealous? Danon is sitting by herself over there right now.
Oh dear. I mean, I've tried to be discreet about my glances, but I don't know. Maybe you've picked up on it.
I pick up on lots of things, and I turn to Mawgrim and I say, "Wait, was there something I was supposed to be picking up on?"
Wait, what are we talking about?
I just thought they'd be cute because they're both shorter than me.
Oh.
Anyway, Ornan, honestly, I hadn't noticed anything. I was just making a joke. But if you're interested, go talk to her.
Oh well, I don't know. It's just been so long since I've tried to do anything like that.
Yes, but my friend, life is so short, and if you find someone that you connect with, like I found back at Redland, then it's worth doing everything you can to be with that person.
Speaking
no
of
matter
someone,
how hard she tells you no.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, Ornan, be like Mawgrim.
Speaking of someone to connect with, and I see that Annalise has come into the inn, and so I'll motion her over to the table.
Okay, yeah. Annalise comes walking in. She kind of glances around the room and spots you guys. And then she hustles over, and she actually then ends up taking the same seat that Corwin had been in just a minute or two earlier.
I feel like I'm speed dating.
Awkward.
She sits down. She says,
That's what happens on your Sleep with Everyone run.
That's right. That's right.
Man, it was heartbreaking when I had to turn down Karlak because I was with Lazelle. Oh, so sad.
Oh, nope. Karlak all the way.
Anyway, so Prelate Annalise comes in. She sits down. She says, good evening.
Good evening. Did you find the shrine all right? Was it rejuvenating experience for you?
She kind of looks at you sideways, not sure how to take what you're asking.
There's no entendre there. I'm just asking if it was good.
She says, yes, it was. I feel I've gotten some things off my chest.
Can I read her? How is she feeling weird ever since the interaction with Corwin?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
I got a 13.
With your 13, I think she's hard to read. For sure, she's hard to read. But you do get the impression that you did not surprise her.
Okay. She knows I'm a player.
Yes. A libertine, I believe, is the word you used earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
A dandy.
Just as Prelate Annalise starts kind of waving over to one of the servers to order some food, the innkeeper comes hobbling up to the table, and he stands up there and he looks over at you, Cilvy, and he says, "All right, then, let's see. The room is filling up. The stage is over there. Let's see if you can earn that room with some of your playing." You can tell he's saying it good naturedly, but he's like, "Hey, go ahead. Let's get some entertainment tonight."
All right, Cilvy, with all of her good roles that she's been having recently, is going to confidently hop up there.
Okay.
And
as you do that, as you turn around and start heading towards the stage, he turns around and says, "All right, everybody, we have some entertainment tonight. We have the beautiful music of the Bloodhound." What's your name?
They call me the Bloodhound.
The beautiful music of the Bloodhound, Cilvy the Bloodhound. There's a small
Weirdly
smattering of clapping
about it.
All right.
Oh, Gee's hooting and hollering.
Oh God. Okay.
I think Mawgrim has a decent little golf clap going on.
All right. So Cilvy is going to try just performing. Oh my God, you guys, that's so amazing.
Oh, nailed it.
Wow.
Wait, what did you get, Sabrina?
So we got a nat one again. I think that's my third one in the row. I think I got two in the last game for
Oh my
two
gosh.
performance. So Sylvia's getting up there confidently.
Oh my gosh, it's a flute, and like when you start to play, the mouthpiece falls off. I think you're like, oh, I didn't put it together well enough. You kind of like you start playing Hot Cross Buns, or no wait, On Top of Old Smoky, and whenever you get to a certain note, it's all do 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 do. They both do it.
Well, before things get too out of hand, I am going to cast Minor Illusion and just go back to my casual old, just casual, what's the song? The 99 bottles of beer on the wall. That's my go-to.
Gotcha. All right, so
ding dong.
Yeah, ding dong.
I think we played hot crossed buns when you were doing it last time or something like
Yes. But this time Paul made a reference to an old episode of Full House.
that.
yes, I did. Oh gosh. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to make a deception check. I'll let you do or deception or sleight of hand, or another performance check. But I'll let you do it with advantage because you have your whole crew clapping along for you. But just to see if you can make it look like you are actually playing and not just using minor illusion or thaumaturgy or whatever it is you're doing.
Thaumaturgy, the haunted house spell. All the windows slam shut.
That would be a different talent. So with advantage, sleight of hand, I got 18.
Okay. All right. You guys are watching for it because you know it's coming. And you know what? She's gotten better. It's you miss it. You don't see when she switches over. You can tell when she switches over because suddenly a piece of gum comes shooting out of the end of her flute and she can play the song again.
Jeez.
Dude,
No, okay. So
I
Cilvy.
don't know why I'm rolling so bad on these things. That's so great.
No, well, you got an 18 sleight of hand. That's great. So you are now, you can play whatever you want with the flute, and people start to, they start to listen. They start to clap along. There's still the murmur of conversation. But at one point, you actually see two people come in from off the deck because there's a porch outside. These two halflings, this halfling couple, they get up and they start dancing to your music, and it's really sweet. What
I'll
are the
turn
rest
to the
of you?
table behind us, behind us, and I'll just say, "They call her the Bloodhound," and I'll just turn back as if that explains anything about how awesome she is.
One of the guys goes, "Oh yeah, a Bloodhound. Yeah, that makes sense." All right. As you are playing, Annalise is here and she's eating a meal. She's like, "So tomorrow morning we get back on the road."
Well, actually, we've been approached by the Count's son to see if we
Not
can.
another man, Guy.
No. You're playing the flute. Shut up.
Yeah. How did she do it? You pull it down. You're like, not another Maggie as the flute is still playing.
No, she's totally growling through it like the jazz flute. And I'll just say, yeah, we've been approached by the Count's son to help see to this bandit problem. I know that we have a destination in mind, but the pay would be substantial. And honestly, if we could negotiate even a boat, it might even make our trip faster.
She thinks about it. She's like, yeah, that seems dangerous, and we are already on a dangerous mission. I understand the need for funding, but I didn't think that we were hurting necessarily for money. Do you really think this is something necessary? Is this a risk worth taking? We're already on. I mean, we're on a quest.
Have you heard of a side quest?
Real quick, I saw a TikTok today of David Arquette putting on his Bozo the Clown music, or Bozo the Clown outfit, because he owns the right to Bozo the Clown, just in case anyone was wondering.
Oh, wow.
And so, oh yeah, he totally does. And somebody was like, there's David Arquette doing his only do the side quests run through. Because he was a WCW champion for a while, and he was wrestling, I guess, in the streets in Mexico for a while. Anyway.
Anybody can answer that question that Annalise had. I don't need to be the only one talking. Because honestly, I'm not decided if I want to do it yet either.
The reality is, it is a lot of money, but and we do need to be conscientious of the resources that we have at our disposal. But it could be a distraction that may not merit the investment of time. I'm open to it, but I would defer to the rest of the group.
The money is tempting, but I think we must press on.
All right, that's 2 against. And Annalise, that's 3 against. Hey, Bloodhound, what do you think? Yay or nay?
She says, "Oh, I'm not part of this decision. I wasn't planning on."
Look, did you want to be part of the group or not? Because
Annalise says, "I'm split. I could go either way. I understand the need for funding, and a ship would definitely help us get down the river. And it sounds like a worthy cause. These bandits and thieves have been they've been harassing the people of Martin's Rest for a while, and causing a lot of damage. It would be right to bring them to justice.
My MO is typically doing the right thing, and it also pays well.
Well, how much does it pay?
It pays well.
It would pay
500 gold.
You're playing the flute.
She stops what she's playing just to say that stuff.
Just to say, we're getting paid 500 gold. Don't worry about it.
Well, the stage is very close to the table where you guys are sitting. So yeah, Cilvy, you can hear the conversation. People when you stop playing and you say something at the table, they're kind of like, what, huh? And then you pick right back up again, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah. So 500 gold? That's 100 gold apiece, plus a potential ship.
Well, we'd also have to. It's a party of 6.
Oh, she glances over at Danon.
We'd have to see if
coming
Danon
too.
was interested. Honestly, I could see Danon just leaving us. If we don't keep up with her, I imagine she would just keep going on her own.
But I think she needs us to pinpoint exactly where to go.
It's true, but I also feel like she just goes. I believe that's actually how you termed it in the last episode, Paul. She just goes. She
just lets nature. She just starts walking, and then she's of the belief that nature will provide, that the natural world will provide, and it did. It provided a goat, and then a giant chicken. Yeah. So.
And maybe a deep no too.
Ornan, go talk to her. Damn it.
I don't know. It's just been so long.
Okay, so where did the votes? So Annalise is like, so where do the votes lie? Because at this point, I'm for it.
And you'd come with us to actually do the battle?
I would. I feel that you four are as important in this as I am, and for me to leave you into a dangerous situation, I feel like that would be. I don't feel like that would be the right choice. I can hold my own.
Honestly, I'm kind of for it too. I'm a yay. So nay, nay, yay, yay. Hey, Bloodhound, what do you think?
Oh, my, let's talk now.
Okay, Cilvy, you finish a song and you take a little break and you come over to the table.
Honestly, I'm split as well. I do think I'm curious what these bandits want. I mean, obviously, money and such is always good to have, but if they're committing arson and seeming to target the specific area, I feel like there's more going on. We might as well explore it.
And how hard could it be to take them down? I mean, all we have to do is have Ornan ask them a question and they'll kill each other.
That only happened one time.
Honestly, that's all I have to go on, so that's kind of the pattern I've seen so far.
1 out of 1 is 100% success.
I'm very good at pattern recognition.
Is one time enough for it to be a pattern?
I'm very good at pattern recognition.
It all depends on the person.
I don't think it's a pattern, but it does show that it is possible. So yeah, the likelihood goes up if you've seen it work once.
Yes, but it was also me that was talking as we were going through the temple a couple of days ago, and that didn't get us very far.
Well, it got us where we needed to go, and we got out, and everybody survived except for the people we didn't like.
Oh dear, maybe I am good at this.
Annalise gets a little bit of a dark look.
I'm sorry, Annalise, that was supposed to be funny, but I recognize that...
It was hilarious.
You probably gossiped with them at the water cooler, and we're really sorry about that.
They were probably tools. I'm sorry, I've had a little bit to drink.
To be fair, Archprelate Oswald did get tons of action. And I mean tons of action.
I guess I probably wouldn't have been as flippant in real life.
Oh, of course you wouldn't.
Yeah, but that's still like the impression.
And the conversation still went there. It still went, hey, we did fine. Everything's okay. We succeeded, and her friends did, or her colleagues did die. People that she had lived with for years did die in that attack.
Well, let's.
I mean, yeah, it sucks. I'm sorry to have made light of it.
So it looks like the vote is 2-2 with one vote undecided.
Let's bring Danon into this and see what she has to say.
Yeah, hey, go get her, Ornan.
I'll walk over there.
Okay. Do you walk over to the
More
bar?
swagger.
Oh dear, swagger like this? Oh,
Sachet.
that doesn't feel natural.
It doesn't look natural either.
You climb up onto the stool next to her. She turns around and looks at you. You see she's eating like a salad, and she's just like, she's eating it like a cow. Like she's just like a leaf kind of hanging out of her mouth.
And
She
she's
kinda
got the
nods at
whole
you.
like rotating jaw.
Yeah, exactly. She straight up does. She straight up does. And
Those
she looks at you.
bites are so slow.
By you have to chew it thoroughly for it to
Oh.
digest well in your body.
Of course, Danon. Yes.
This is
they've
so
seen-
hot.
we have like a decision thing that we're trying to decide, and we need you to decide it for us, with us, over there at the table. With us over there.
She kind of wipes her mouth a little bit, and she, all right, and she
He
gets
will
down off the stool.
Move to the other side of the table and sit next to Annalise so that the only open seats are next to each other.
Oh,
Okay.
dear.
For Ornan and for Danon.
You took my chair. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to be closer to the stage for when the Bloodhound starts up again.
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Dana comes to, she sits down, she's like, what is it? Is this about our search for Jib Jab?
Yep, there might be a slight delay. We've been offered a job that pays some money that would help us get there quicker, but it might be a little delay before we set out. What do you think?
She's thinking about it for a second, and she's like, what does she say? I know what I'm thinking in my brain. The wheels are turning in her brain, and she's like, nature.
You don't look like someone who waits. You look like someone who does. And unfortunately, this would, in the end, probably improve the speed of our journey by providing us a ship that could take us all the way to Cladvina. But it would require us having a short delay here in Martin's Rest.
She thinks about it for a second, and she reaches across the table and grabs like a cooked carrot out of somebody's stew and just starts chewing on it as she's thinking. And she says,
Oh dear, you put your whole hand in that stew.
she looks at you and she like licks her fingers.
Oh,
That was
Keeps it nice and salty.
that was my stew.
She says, well, if it'll speed our journey along, then I say yes. What is it? What are we doing?
Well, we'll be doing some good and earning some coin while we do it. Taking care of bandits. Every day. Taking care of bandits every way. And working overtime. Work out. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
That was taking care of business
Yes.
with alternate lyrics to say bandits, which was clever.
Thanks for clarifying.
Oh,
Some of our listeners are very young.
That's
Yes.
true. That's true.
We marched to that song in junior high.
Yep. In the
Which is
Hazeldale
middle
Parade.
school for all of you people who are.
After the apocalypse that are listening to this that don't know what school is.
Yeah. She nods and she says, okay, I'm in.
Oh, that was quicker than I thought.
In as a combatant, into like to go along with us or wait in town for us to return, or I mean,
No, I'll wait here.
oh, okay,
I'll wait for you.
all right.
So you're not really in, you're kind of just more around.
I will not leave you. I will stay here, and I don't have any need of your reward, but I would still like to accompany you on our trip.
well, I think perhaps it makes sense then if we go ahead and do the thing. It'll give us enough resources for whatever lies ahead. If we do it all quickly, then we can be on our way.
On a boat.
I mean, we'll negotiate for a boat. Yes. Okay. Well, I guess we should head off to the Wilson. What? Wayman?
Martin's Manor.
Martin. We should head out to Martin's Manor. Oh, and Danon, before we go, I had a question for you. I've seen you talking with, the horses and everything. Does Duchess love me as much as I love her?
Duchess is quite fond of you.
Oh, good. I thought she was, but then I wasn't sure. But then, anyway, okay. Thank you.
But Duchess does like braids.
Oh, braids. Okay. All right.
Stormhoof Thundermare. I do not care about this horse.
That's probably why he's so emo.
You don't have to tell the horse that, but if you tell the horse that, it's fine. I do not care.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what Danon has to say to that. That just threw me off so bad. All right. Oh gosh.
You should ask Annalise if she wants to trade horses.
Yeah, her horse is this beautiful, like black horse with like this little white spot on its nose, just like the epitome of what Stormhoof Thundermare should look like.
Instead of this Norse god of a horse.
Yes. Oh gosh. All right. So you guys are going to head over to Martin's Manor then to talk to Neldor Martin.
Yep.
Okay. Well, very good. Are you guys all going?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not going to split the party.
It is that or I stay here and get drunk. But I do not need to do that.
We can do that when we get back.
That's right.
It's always good to start a mission with a hangover.
I suppose those are those wise words?
I don't know. Sarcasm. How high is your constitution score? I rarely get a hangover.
Hey guys, it was sarcasm. Look into it.
Mawgrim pulls out a notepad, writes down. Sarcasm. I'm guessing it is some sort of a large crevice.
The next time we meet someone named Alexa, you can just ask her.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. All right, I'm moving you guys over to this new map. You leave the North Side Inn. You can see Martin's Manor. The way that the town... I went away from here and I missed it. What happened? What happened?
Mawgrim and I were just jumping on top of each other over and over again.
They were trying to fill in we were doing a 4x4 thing, moving our tokens in, and they kept going on top of each other's spaces. They were making room for each other.
That's so sweet.
Excuse me. Sorry.
No, after you. I insist. You're going here. Oh, I'll go there. Oh, wait, no, you want to go here. Well,
let's just hold hands, and I think we'll be fine.
Okay, that always has gone well for us.
Agreed.
All right. You guys can see Martin's Manor. It's on the way that the city is situated. Martin's Rest is like the east side of the river. And there is this small island in the middle of the river that is connected to Martin's Rest by a bridge. There are 4 of these large houses. The largest one is Martin's Manor. It has purple roofs. It has some towers. It looks like it's built out of stone. You know that there's kind of this cliff all along the river, all along this island. So the island does not have like a beach that goes right down to the water. It's kind of built up off the water. So there's this natural protection already, but Martin's Manor does have this private dock coming off, jutting out into the river, and you move through the town and to the bridge that leads across to this island. This island, it doesn't have a name, but it is definitely where the upper crust, the rich folk live, and you can see Martin's Manor, the home of the Count of Martin's Rest. You can see it straight ahead. As you move towards the building, you can see there are flower beds around. You can see there are some windows and some a large double door that opens up. You can see that there are lights in behind most of the windows. It looks like this large, well-built manor house. As you approach, you see that there are 2 guards out in front who stop you. One of them steps forward and she says, "Halt, it's late. What business do you have with the Count?"
We've been summoned by the Count Jr.
The Count by... Lord Neldor?
Neldork.
Yeah, we met with Neldor earlier this evening, and he recommended...
Yes. He warned us. He told us that some people may be coming to see him.
Ta-da! It's those people.
She says, "Let me go make sure that he is available, and I will be right back." She steps into the manor. As the double doors open, you can just, for a split second, you can glance in. You can see that there is this central chamber. There are
Is that
archways.
Abraham Lincoln?
Where force scores.
That's not Abraham Lincoln. That is Fantasy Butler.
Okay.
That butler's got
But
some cheeks on him.
Honestly, it's funny because you focused in on him, whereas I looked past him at the cleavage that I can see.
All right.
Oh, hello there.
Meow. All right.
All right, as the doors open, just for a split second, you can see intricately laid wooden patterns on the floor. You can see that there are servants moving around in this large kind of central chamber.
Cilvy followed her right in.
I'm going to close the door now.
Oh, no.
I thought that guy was going to emancipate our coats for a moment and take them someplace.
Okay, note to self: make a new butler token.
He's great. From a distance, he looks like beardless Abraham Lincoln, but up close, I was getting more like almost like a halfway between Edward Norton and Christian Bale.
Yeah, I could see that. And a little bit of Kieran Culkin put in there too, if he was a little older. Yeah. Anyway, but something else you guys noticed is that there was an archway heading north and there was an archway heading to the south. There's another double door on the west side. You're entering in from the east side of the building, right? So you can see straight across this entrance chamber, there's another double door. You see there's staircases that go up to a second floor. You see that in the center of this room, there is this kind of plinth and there is a rock, a large stone, probably about 5 feet tall and about 3 or 4 feet around, like circumference, not diameter. Diameter would probably be like, well, okay, now my geometry is off.
Pi.
Yes, okay. let me. Is that pi r squared, or is that that's
2 pi
circumference?
r?
So 2 pi r. Yes.
So it would be basically it would be like 5 feet around, and the diameter would be 5 divided by pi.
Yes. Oh, yes. Of course. Of course. Yes. Anyway, it's large. It's definitely larger than you guys could lift. It has these like runes or glyphs on it. It looks very, very old. At first glance, it looks like some sort of a trophy or something that they have displayed here. Something else you did notice is standing at the top of one of these staircases, kind of talking down from a landing down to a butler who is standing down on the wood. You see, Guy, you see probably the most beautiful woman you have ever seen in your life. She is wearing for anybody, she is. I don't know why I said Guy specifically. I guess because Guy is trying to sleep with everybody. So you see that she's wearing this dark black kind of satin or silk gown. She has a black choker on. Her hair is tied back. She has this, not a tiara per se, but this like sort of a pearl head, band on. You can see rings on her fingers, and she is talking to the butler. As the door opens, she glances out the door right before it closes, and the guard moves into the building, leaving you all out here with another guard and with Prelate Annalise.
Guy will close his mouth and just not turn around and look at Prelate Annalise.
You guys, I think I have a thing for the maids. I don't.
Wait, was she a maid?
I did not
You
think she was
don't
a
get the
maid.
impression that she was a maid.
Are you sure?
I was thinking, is she old enough to be his mother? Like, is she the mistress of the house, or was she too young for that?
Make insight checks or perception checks.
Like, is she
Take a pick.
new stepmother or something?
Yeah, is she? Oh my god, I got a nat 1 for a 1.
You are on
Oh,
fire
man.
tonight.
Oh my
Sabrina.
gosh. Okay.
Ornan got a 9.
Mawgrim got a 14.
Guy got a 5.
Okay, so Mawgrim, you're the only one who picks up on this. Her dress was black, which indicates mourning. Okay, that's what you pick up on. That's the information that you get. It looks like this woman is dressed as maybe a widow or maybe the daughter of somebody who has recently passed.
I'll say, she was wearing a mourning gown. And so perhaps
This late at night?
Hi-oh. So perhaps there has been some sort of a death in the family recently. We should, I guess, be a little bit sensitive around asking those sorts of questions. Yes.
The door opens again, and you can now see into the room. Again, the woman at the top of the stairs is gone. You cannot see her anymore.
Bring it back.
The guard is standing inside, and she says, Lord Neldor he awaits you in the drawing room. If you'll please follow me. And she moves into the house. As you guys
I'll take up the rear.
Yeah, as you guys move into the home, I want you guys to make either perception checks or if you guys want to make an arcana check or something, that is also very, very possible.
I'll do an arcana check.
Guy got just a 10 on a perception check.
Ornan got a 15 perception.
Cilvy got a 25 arcana.
Oh.
And Mawgrim got a 17 arcana.
So really quick, as you guys are moving past with your arcana checks, you see this stone is not magical, but the writing on it is. Does that make sense? It indicates something. How do I put this? It is like a waystone.
The individual letters represent sounds.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
Are you explaining writing to me?
Put the sounds together and you get
kind of more
words.
What I mean is this rock does not have a magical purpose, right? You cannot activate this rock for some kind of magical effect. This rock is a guidepost to something that is potentially magic or powerful or important. Does that make sense?
A literal milestone.
Yeah, sure. Yes. And Cilvy, with your 25 of Arcana, you recognize this is not... with your 25 Arcana, you recognize this stone has not been moved. This is where this stone was when the house was built around it.
Can I read the inscription? If I use Rosetta Stone or... no, it's understand spoken. Never mind.
No, if you touch
you
it.
understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching it. Can I go put my hands on their really nice rock?
Do you have the spell prepared, or would you have to do like a 10-minute ritual
No,
cast?
it's prepared.
Oh, wow.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, Rosetta Stone's all prepared. You never know when you need to whip out a dictionary.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you never know when you need to just put hands on that rock.
Is it written in Thieves' Cant, Paul? Is it Thieves' Cant?
It's not potatoes. Here's my question for you. The spell Rosetta Stone, verbal somatic material, what do you need?
I don't know what that means. Oh,
Like what-
VSM, a pinch
all
of
three.
soot and salt.
So you start reaching into your pouch and start saying some magical words, and the guard says, "Oh, what are you doing in here? What are you doing?"
Oh, I just thought the stone was so interesting. I just wanted to study it a little bit.
She looks at you, she has not drawn a sword, but her hand is resting on the pommel of her sword.
I'm
She's
a
like,
geologist.
She says, I would appreciate no magics in this home.
Oh, no, this isn't magic. This is a geology thing. It's
Geologists who are known for reading ancient languages.
the chanting helps her do it better.
It's a little bit of paleontology in there, a little bit of anthropology. I dabble
Literally
in them
part of
all.
it is shouting out, Rosetta Stone!
I have to be able to read it.
You know how sometimes when you do the alphabet, you'll do the song, the A, B, C, D. The same for her, right?
All right,
Does
let's
she
keep
do-
moving, everyone. Hey, Paul, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. We are a bag of cats today.
That's okay. It's okay. You get the impression that she is now wary, and not saying that you cannot cast Rosetta Stone, but it might be safer to find a time when you're not in a room full of people.
I'm gonna keep my hands to myself. I would say, My apologies. No touching the artifacts. I understand that as well. Professional to professional. Don't worry.
As this guard then takes you out of the room and takes you through the archway to the north, you can see that there are 3 doors in this archway. There's one. This archway opens up into a hallway that runs east and west. And at the east end, there's a door. On the north wall, there's a door, and at the far east end, there is a door. And as this guard is moving down the hall towards that far door at the east end, Ornan, with your 15 perception, you see that you are in a room that, or in the hallway, you can see that there are these portraits that line the wall. You can see that there are 5 portraits. 2 of them are before that door that's in the center, that's on the north wall. And it looks like an older man and an older woman. And you just kind of, it just naturally you would assume, oh, this must be the Count and the Countess. And the Count's name is, I think I already said it, but it's Ernest Martin. And so it's Count Ernest Martin, and his wife is Contessa Martin. So it's Countess Contessa Martin. Yes, I know. Okay. Thank you. I'm just saying. And then as you look at the 3 pictures on the other side of the door, it looks like these must be their children. So the first picture. Oh, and so yeah, Ernest Martin is not a Leonin. He is a human. He has got like gray hair, a little bit of dark still in it. He's clean shaven. He looks like a slender man, probably maybe 150 pounds. Not a
slender
warrior.
Man in the house.
Oh, yikes. We gotta get out.
I was biting warrior. My tongue. We have to get somewhere in the story today.
I'm so sorry.
No, we all thought it.
I know. Even I thought it. You see that the Contessa, she has blonde hair that has turned. It's starting to turn white. It's that not quite blonde, but also not quite completely white. It's kind of washed out at this point. You can see that she is an attractive woman. She is probably in her 60s, and Ernest is probably in his 60s as well. The other 3 photos, gosh, the other 3 portraits that you see on the other side of this north door, you see Neldor. You see this Leonin man. You see he is, like yellowish, tannish fur on his face. You can see he's got the tufted ears of a lion. You see this big, regal mane of hair on his head. He looks like he's wearing some sort of red, like brigandine for this portrait. Next to Neldor's portrait, you see a portrait of that woman. You see that beautiful woman who is standing at the top of the stairs. You see in her portrait, she is not dressed in black. She's not dressed in mourning, but she is dressed in a like a ball gown almost, and she is she's beautiful. And the third portrait that you see is somebody that you kind of are surprised you recognize. You see a woman that you met earlier that day. You see a woman with blonde hair tied up in a braid over the top. She is different than the woman in the portrait next to her. She is actually wearing armor for her portrait. You can see this woman appears to be a warrior of some sort. You see who you rack your brain with your 15 perception, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is one of these paladins of Helm, and her portrait is here in Martin's Manor for some reason. The guard takes you past this hallway of portraits and opens the door on the at the east end of the hall and steps aside and motions for you and says, "Lord Neldor, your guests have arrived." As you move past the guard and into this large drawing room, you can see there are bookshelves along one wall. There is a cabinet with wines and liqueurs on another wall. You can see there's a big fireplace on the far wall at the kind of north end of the room. You can see there is like trophies and antlers. There is a rug, some sort of animal skin laid out on the floor in front of the fire. There are these comfy sofas, and Neldor is sitting on one of these comfy sofas. He has a wine glass in his hand that he's just kind of swirling. He's not drinking it, but he's just kind of swirling in his hand. And Mawgrim is still out in the hall.
Sorry.
I hope it's not a lion that he has. You said some kind of animal rug. I hope it's not a lion.
Also, Annalise is still in the hall, Paul.
Yeah, sorry. As the door closes, I will also say that we'll just keep your perception score from earlier, Ornan. The guard, as she closes the door, she steps in to the room with you. Neldor stands up and says, I'm glad you came. I apologize if I made a fool of myself earlier, but please, have a seat.
Oh, no, it was fine. You didn't make a fool of yourself at all. You adequately communicated the urgency of the request and the care that you have for the people of this city.
And our interest was piqued.
He says, yes, I had a little too much to drink, but my offer still stands.
Little hair of the dog, huh? As he's swirling his wine. This is grape juice.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't one. He's taking the time to taste it, just taking the time to roll it around. Did you catch that? No?
He's taking the time to taste it, take the time to just roll it around.
Take the time to taste the Welch's.
Oh,
Take the time to roll it around.
Jeez.
Am I the only one who remembers that commercial?
I do not.
Yeah,
That's
you
so
might be
weird.
the only one to
I
remember
know that is bringing back memories as well.
I
Okay,
just
good.
love that some of these references are legit commercials from the 90s.
So many commercials
Not
floating
like
around in my
shows or
brain.
movies or games. It's the commercials.
It's the commercial. Because, I mean, hey, all of you Gen Z and Gen Alpha who are listening, we used to have to watch commercials. Like, there was no getting around it.
We only had 5 channels. We didn't have cable, and so if you wanted to watch anything worthwhile, you were going to see a lot of commercials.
Let's be real. All the services are monetizing with commercials again anyway. So commercials
I was
are
just
back.
gonna say you'll figure it out in about another 2 years. They'll know what it's like.
Anyway, he says, well, I apologize. I'd had a bit to drink, and the plight of this city is ever on my mind, and I'm glad that you came. Does that mean that you accept my offer and you will help me go and find these bandits, these thieves, these arsonists, and bring them to justice?
You know, we discussed it as a group, and I think that we are willing to help you in this endeavor. And I'll kind of look to the group too to see if anybody wants to add anything.
Your reward sounded very generous, and we were actually wondering. I know we're not to the negotiation phase yet, but just so that you're aware, we are headed somewhere specific, and we've also learned that your family has confiscated many boats of those who've helped these bandits, and we were hoping as well that your generosity might extend to a boat our way.
He has gotten up as you're talking. He's gotten up out of the off of his sofa, and as you say, we're not to the negotiation stage. He kind of laughs good-naturedly, and he walks over to a shelf, and there's this small chest. It's probably about gift basket size, and he grabs it off the shelf and
Does it
brings
have CF on it?
No, it does not have CF on it. And he sets it down on the coffee table, and he says, "No, we're at the negotiation stage, I think." And he opens up this chest, and inside you see it is lined with velvet, but inside you see these gold bars, and you can make out 10 of them. He says, "I just want you to know that my word is good. I intend to keep my word, and here is your proof. But now you say you want a ship." He says, "It's true, my family has confiscated a few of these barges for the captains who have sometimes inadvertently, but sometimes willingly, aided these bandits. I tell you what, you help me, I give you 5 of these bars, and you can have one of the keelboats." Which you would know, Guy, is a smoking deal for a keelboat. It's not a war galley or anything like that, but but that's a good deal.
I'll look at everybody else here in the room, and I'll just put an eyebrow up, like, I
think that is reasonable. I think that is more than reasonable for us as well. Okay, I think we have an agreement.
Yeah. He said, well, we almost have an agreement. And then he rings a bell, and about 10 seconds later, that butler, Abraham Lincoln, comes in, and he's got a paper and a quill. And he comes and says, yes, my lord, here is your the contract that you asked for. And he sets it down. He stands back waiting for Neldor to then sign the contract. But Neldor takes the ink quill and he crosses out 10 gold bars, and then he writes in a less elegant, less good penmanship hand. He writes out 5.
He doesn't know cursive.
Less good.
Less good. Yes, his penmanship is less good. He writes out 5 gold bars plus 1 keelboat. And then he looks around the room at you all, and then he goes to the bottom and he signs his name, Neldor Martin. And then he holds the quill up for whoever is willing to sign. He says, I don't need all of you to sign, just one of you. Should be plenty.
Wait, Cilvy, are you psychic? You said it was going to be 500 gold earlier.
I had a feeling that's what we would end up negotiating to once we got the ship.
This bloodhound is amazing.
Wow.
That's why they call me the Bloodhound.
Indeed.
Oh dear, I didn't realize it meant you were psychic.
It means a lot of things, Ornan. It means a lot of things.
I thought they called you the Bloodhound because you were good at the flute.
They do. It means a lot of things. It's a euphemism that's like really handy for a lot of everything.
Neldor seems to just be taking it in stride. The servant, the butler, he is just standing there, stone-faced. But you guys don't need just your passive perceptions. You guys can see that he is like trying very hard not to laugh.
All right, I'll sign it.
I was about to as well.
Oh, here. Well, we're still holding hands, so why don't we both put a hand on it?
Indeed.
Vicnon Opal Mawgrim.
Ski. You forgot the ski at the end.
Yes.
It's their couple name.
Yes, word. Oh, gosh.
It's Guy Love.
So who is signing it then?
Ornan will give Mawgrim the quill.
Okay. And Mawgrim, what name do you sign?
I'll sign my own name. I don't have
You can borrow Ross Lacrosse if you want to. I think I'm done with that name.
I think Mawgrim he's not quite clever enough on his feet to come up with a completely new persona on the fly. So he's just gonna sign it himself.
After you sign it, Neldor, he kind of sprinkles some sand on it, I think, and blows on it. And then he hands it over to the servant. Is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, you
I
gotta
think you
dry that
sprinkle
ink.
sand on it.
I think you're supposed to sprinkle. Isn't that what it was?
Sprinkle.
Sprangle.
It's an old Dutch shaman tradition.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. Usually it's like a powder to try to help the ink dry, and then
Yeah, so he sprinkles it on there,
Cocaine.
and then
Snorts it
after it's
off.
dry, he folds it up. The butler comes over somewhere along the line as you guys were talking. The butler had warmed up some wax, and he stamps it with the seal of the House of Martin, and he takes it away. He says, "All right, I will keep this for safekeeping. Is there anything else you'll be needing tonight, Master Neldor?" And Neldor says, "No, I'm fine, thank you." And then Jeeves leaves. I don't know what his name is. Anyway.
It's Jeeves now.
Yes,
it's
Jeeves. Okay.
So where are these bandits headquartered? Where should we head out to get them?
He says, "Well, I will show you. In the morning, we'll leave at first light, and I will show you where I believe they are headquartered. See, the priests of Helm, their temple has been here for a while, but they've been mainly focused here in the city. I grew up here, and I've ventured all around these parts, and I know of a place that, as a youth, that's where we'd go, and we would carouse and drink and break windows, that sort of thing.
I thought you were going to say break wind.
It would be a formidable place for a group of bandits. There is an old fort just a little northeast of here. It's only about 8 miles from here, but it is hidden. It is there's no clear path on how to get there. But I have been there many times, and I can show you where it is.
Perfect. I have a quick question for you. The portrait in the hallway, that the one in the armor, is that your half sister?
Oh, it's my sister. I'm adopted, so yes.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
I just want to understand. Are you trying to one up her, or perhaps take these bandits out before she and the Helm priests can do it?
You mean some sort of like sibling rivalry? Oh,
Sure, yes.
oh,
And maybe you feel a little inadequate because you're adopted.
no, Gwendolyn.
Okay. Before you take any offense, we just want to have all our cards on the table if we're going to be working together and putting ourselves in a dangerous position. This is no judgment. We just want to know what your intentions are, and when push comes to shove, what we can expect.
Gwendolyn is the third child of a wealthy family. There is an inheritance for her should she want it, but there's no place for her, so she chose to find her own way, and her own way led to the Temple of Helm. I am proud of what she has accomplished. I am happy that she is happy. I am concerned at her zealousness, at her zealotry, at her
Zeal?
At her zeal, thank you. I am concerned at her zeal. But no, this is not a rivalry issue. She has made her choice, and she has sided with the Temple of Helm over her family.
All right.
Is there a lot of conflict between your family and the Temple of Helm? You talked earlier about their methods and disagreeing with that, and how they're taking authority away from your family. Is there like out and out conflict ever? Is this like a Montague and Capulet thing?
Make a perception or an insight check as you ask that. Anybody can make that check if they would like to.
All right, I got another 10. According to the Adventure Zone, it's the least funny roll.
Mawgrim got a nat 1 for an 8.
Cilvy coming in hot with a 4.
Jeez, a nat 1 for
What did Ornan
8?
get?
Jeez.
Are you doing insight or perception, Ornan?
Ornan got a 20 insight.
With the 20 insight, Ornan, I will tell you what you understand about what he says after I tell you what he says. He says, the Martin family and the Temple of Helm have not come to blows. We are amicable, but the Temple, it's only a matter of time before the Count exercises his authority, and the Temple of Helm will have to fall in line, or they will not be welcome in Martin's Rest. That's what Neldor says. Ornan, you read into that. Neldor feels that way, but you're not so sure that anybody else in the family does. With your 20 insight, you get the impression that while Neldor might be a nice enough guy, he is very concerned about his inheritance and what he will actually get once Martin's manor is his.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm telling you, it's because he's adopted. He's insecure.
He's sitting right there.
Anyways, he says, well, share a drink with me before we separate, and I tell you what, I will come and meet you at Northside Inn at first light, and we will venture out and find these bandits, bring them to justice.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds very nice.
He pours around some. He's got a whole liquor cabinet, so you guys can take it. Pick and choose what you want. If you guys want to have more than one drink, that is fine as well. Prelate Annalise kind of chooses to stay kind of off to the side. She does get a small glass of wine and sips it for a little bit as you chat, as you talk.
Do you have anything mushroom or vegetable based?
Vegetable, fruit-based, yes. Vegetable, agave is a vegetable, right? Have some tequila.
Perfect.
Tomato wine.
Fruit based oh man.
You stay here. I don't know how long you guys want to stay with Neldor. Do you guys want to talk about? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what you guys gather just in talking with him for the short time while you guys are here drinking. You find out Neldor, his parents, Ernest and Constance, they tried for years to have a child and could not conceive. And in the city of Martin's Rest, there is the Temple of Helm. And one thing that is common in the Temple of Helm is the Temple of Helm, they are protectors, and especially children. There is an orphanage in the temple complex, and Ernest and Constance adopted Neldor from the orphanage, and they started raising him as their son. And within a year of having this 3-year-old little Tabaxi or Leonin boy, then Constance did get pregnant, and she had their first daughter, and their first daughter's name is Shireen. Shireen is the woman you saw at the top of the stairs. And then 5 years later, they had their second daughter, who is Gwendolyn.
You guys, I'm not going to say this in front of Neldor, but
you're telepathic. You can say it in their brains, remember?
I was literally just going to say, I'm going to think it to you guys, but I think that his sister Shireen might be a bigger player in this. Like, she seemed like she could break some hearts and also do some stuff. I don't know. Something.
So what you're saying is we need to grill her. We need to grill her hard. We need to ride her hard until she gives us the answers we need.
Gee, for a minute, my internal voice turned into Cilvy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So is that something you guys want to like get more information from Neldor now, or?
I think Cilvy would kind of like just ask a little bit like about Shireen, and we ran into her when we first entered the home, and she seemed nice.
Yeah, he says, yeah, she is. She's recently returned. Poor thing. She's also recently widowed. So she's no longer a Martin. She is Shireen Shadowrose, and her husband recently passed. If there's more information you guys want to try to gather, then we're going to start making some rolls. Otherwise, he's just going to sit back and sip some drink until you guys are ready to leave.
Sylvie's like, so how long do you think before she's ready to date again?
I saw she was in mourning. She's not ready yet.
Okay, actually, I do have a question.
Okay.
I will, and this, I'm trying to roundabout way say, obviously, you singled us out because we look like we can hold our own, and there are certain, techniques and combat styles that we have worked on over the years to make us as formidable as we are. How do you feel about alternate, less conventional methods of combat? Like, I'm not talking about like Taekwondo versus karate.
I do not know what you talk about, but I think I understand what you mean. Frankly, I am no Aonin. If your skills will help protect Martin's Rest, then I will keep whatever secrets you need me to.
Dang it. We should have had a clause put in that contract before we signed it.
Would you mind if I touched your rock out front then on our way out?
Touch the waystone?
That's a euphemism, sir.
That's a euphemism, sir.
I was just kind of curious what it says. I guess if you know, you could translate it for me, but I was going to read it myself, but your servants didn't let me.
He says, I am unsure of what it says. I don't see a reason why you couldn't touch it. That's fine. The guard that's still standing in here kind of wanders over and then whispers into Neldor's ear, and then Neldor's like, oh, he waves off the guard. He's like, no, it's fine. Just be discreet about any magics that you do in the house. If you need to, you can do it in here with me before you head out. That's fine.
Oh, well, thank you. That would absolutely help. but I'm still gonna have to touch it.
You clap your hands together, throw some dust in the air, and say, Rosetta Stone!
But I'm still gonna have to touch the stone, so expect it to get a little groped.
All right, is that all you guys wanted to do here in Martin's Manor?
So we're meeting you tomorrow morning here at the manor.
No, I will come to the Northside Inn. I'll meet you there. It's closer. It's on the way.
Okay. Do we need horses or are we going to go on foot?
The path is too overgrown, so we'll go on foot.
All right. You know, it's too bad we don't have a goat with us. They could just eat all the extra foliage as we go and make the path clear.
That would be ideal.
If you just need them bad enough, they kind of appear. So
you get this distinct image of Danon back at the end, just chewing away, just like a cow chewing cud. Okay,
and Ornan goes, "Ah."
I'm trying to need her enough, and maybe that'll put me in her path.
Oh my god. As Neldor kind of stands up and you are escorted out of the room, Cilvy, are you going to cast Rosetta Stone?
Oh, hell yeah. No, I cast Rosetta Stone, and I'm ready to go read that rock, that waystone.
Okay. You walk back out of this drawing room, out back into the central chamber with its intricate wood floor. You can see this waystone, this with the magical runes written on it, the writing, the ancient language, whatever it is. And Cilvy, you walk up and you touch it, and you instantly can read what these images, what these runes on this stone say, and they are directions. They are coordinates is the wrong word. It is like a general sense and a general distance. From this stone, you get the impression of south by southeast and 140 miles.
Oh, that's so... Jeez, that's very vague.
That's so far.
It is very vague.
Do we know of another stone? Does anybody ever know of any stones in the area?
Sorry, 110 miles. Sorry. So south by southeast, 110 miles. But it's even more, when I say south by southeast, it's not like, oh yeah, the general direction. It's like you could look at a compass and you could tell exactly within 3 degrees which direction to start walking.
Would 110 miles south by southeast from here, would that still be on the old map of Oclaria, or would that be beyond its borders?
As you guys are talking about this, as you leave Martin's Manor, and Cilvy tells you 110 miles and then this rough direction, you know that the river that you are on, that Martin's Rest is, that river heads kind of south by southeast, but it's the way that she describes the direction, you would know, having traveled this river many times, it doesn't quite follow the river. It's a little bit further south than that. And with that distance, make an intelligence check. Anybody can make the intelligence check. I have a difficulty of 17.
I'm going to make a legend keeper check.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, so is it south of Mirlov? So intelligence check, Cilvy got a 23.
Gee got a 9.
Mawgrim got a 9 as well.
Ornan got a 10.
Cilvy, you have read a lot. You've looked at a lot of maps and everything, and you have this image in your brain of this area, this general area. And from here, 110 miles in that direction, you're fairly certain it's not Mirlov. It is west of Mirlov. It is Stillwater Lake, which is the lake that Mirlov is built on. If your calculations with your high roll are correct, it's somewhere in the middle of Stillwater Lake. Also, anybody who's sailed through this way, who's traveled past Mirlov, you know that Stillwater Lake is a large freshwater lake that is constantly foggy. It's like it's constantly morning mist coming off the lake, no matter what time of day it is, which creates this kind of it's quiet. It is sort of sound is kind of dampened as you're on this lake. You can hear like the splashing of water against rocks and stuff, but visibility is lessened. It is diminished here upon this lake. And that fog, that mist, it actually blows off of the lake and actually covers the city of Mirloff as well in this sort of perpetual shroud of fog and mist. But yeah, somewhere in the lake itself is where this waystone is pointing.
Well, good thing we're getting a boat.
You guys leave Martin's Manor. Just a heads up, we did not get where I thought we were going to get today. So here is...
I am shocked.
We've been so silly. I'm so sorry.
No, you didn't. No, we're having. This is the game that we would be playing.
I'm so excited to play
recording.
this game again.
Yeah, we were playing the game that we would be playing if we weren't recording. You make your way out of Martin's Manor and back across the bridge into Martin's Rest proper. You head back north towards the North Side Inn. As you approach, you can see that the inn itself has it's died down a little bit. You guys were actually over at Martin's Manor a little longer than you expected. It is now full on dark. It is lights are going off in homes. People are going to bed. Shops are shut up for the night. As you walk into the inn, you see that the crowd has definitely lessened. But you do still see some people that you recognize. You do still see that Danon is sitting at the bar, and she is drinking. She's drinking something. It looks like she's talking to one of these Martin's Rest militia guards who must be in here either on duty or maybe has just finished her rounds and is getting a late meal. You can see that Corwin Frostborn is talking with a green dragonborn man who is sitting at the bar as well. But as you walk in, Corwin notices you walk in, Guy, and he kind of raises an eyebrow.
Finger guns.
Classic.
You see Corwin say give like a clap on the back of this dragonborn he's been talking to, like, hey, it's been great talking to you. You'll have to catch up again. And then Corwin walks over to you, Guy. Ornan and Mawgrim and Cilvy, what are you guys doing at this moment?
I think
Ornan's gonna order a drink.
Yes, I think I'd get a drink and prepare for bedtime myself.
Yes, I think Cilvy would be up there, like, reading those scrolls and just kind of trying to get some knowledge.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe spending some time scribing another spell over into her book, potentially?
Yes, exactly.
Very good. All right.
As we're heading over, I would say to the rest of the group, I would say either the fan or the smelly cloak. I could take either. I would make good use of either one of them if you'd be willing to part with it. I
don't need the fan. I forgot I had the fan. You can have it.
You can have both, cloak. And then you could use the fan to blow away the smell of the cloak.
It's a pretty good idea, actually.
Whichever you'd like, sir.
Well, is anybody going to use the cloak? And then I'll whisper so that Annalise can't hear. Honestly, I think it'd be a really bad look if I turned into a hellhound in front of a nun.
I can understand that.
Some chicks are into it. I don't know. Well, either way, it's fine.
I'll take the fan.
Is anyone taking the cloak? Or is that still just going to like sit in like the...
It's in Ornan's backpack right now.
Oh, just waiting to be sold or something.
Are we going to sell it?
Do whatever.
Nobody's using it.
I'll take it. I'll wear it. That's fine.
All right.
If nobody else wants these magic items, I will gladly use them.
It's all yours, sir.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Can I make an insight check to realize if I have been using the wrong weapon?
100%.
You can set the difficulty, but I'm going to make a check. I got a 9.
I want everybody else to make perception checks. We're going to say difficulty 18.
Ooh.
To recognize Ornan using the sword over the pick.
It's about time. Guy got a 23.
Yeah, Mawgrim also got a 23.
Cilvy got a 14.
As you guys are walking back to the tavern, to the inn, I imagine that Guy and Mawgrim, you're just talking back and forth and everything. You see that Ornan is walking a little bit ahead of you, and just something about the way that Ornan is holding, as he walks, he's holding the handle of that short sword. You see his thumb caressing the pommel, like lovingly kind of stroking it. And just the more you think about it, the more you recognize he does not let it go. Like anytime you're talking to him, anytime he is just at ease, his hand is on that sword. And you recognize now that there is a fascination with the sword, especially knowing how much he loved his pick before finding that sword. In fact, I'll say this. You recognize his pick is in his bag. It's not even accessible anymore.
Oh, okay. I'll straight up say, Hey, Ornan.
Yes, Guy?
So, you really taken a liking to that sword, huh?
Oh, the sword? I mean, sure, I guess. I've been using it when I fight.
Yeah. How do you feel about this sword?
I guess I haven't noticed very much. I mean, I'm much better trained at the war pick and the hammer, but I mean, now that you mention it, I guess I have been favoring this blade.
I mean, it's a nice blade. It's a very nice blade, Ornan.
It's a beautiful sword. Mawgrim, you gonna help me?
Look, Ornan, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit concerned. There is arcane energy. There is arcane energy that comes from this thing. I think we all knew as much. Have you noticed that it has granted you any particular aptitude or skill or anything of that nature?
No, it's stabby. That's about all I've noticed.
Annalise looks at you guys and she recognizes what's happening, and she says, "Oh, Ornan." She first off, Guy, she kind of looks at you and she kind of raises an eyebrow, and then she turns to Ornan and she says, "Oh, well that is a nice sword. Could I see it?"
Of course. Here.
Ornan, the answer is no.
No, I said no! You can't touch my sword! How dare you!
I think that you pull it out and you go to show it to her, and when she reaches for it, you instinctively pull it back.
No, I think not, actually.
Can I do an insight or arcana check on that?
Why should I? Why should I give away my precious?
With your perception check, I think that at this point you recognize something's not right.
All this conversation too, I'm like, oh, maybe wearing a cloak that turns me into an infernal creature is probably not the best thing if we're worried about curses. So let's sell this thing.
What are you talking about, curses?
We probably listen. Ornan,
like hell damn fart.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
The naughty words. No, listen. It's just that we've noticed that you have had a little bit of difference in your behavior, and there is something.
Wait, is this an intervention?
Well, I mean,
I think it is.
I think it's kind of becoming that. Yes, a little bit. Look. Perhaps you are in control and we are misjudging the situation, but it would appear to us that this blade has some sort of control over you.
Well, I think I disagree with you all.
Listen, the reality is that we cannot force somebody to relinquish something that they have an attachment to. And so you will do what you wish to do, but we care about you, Ornan. And if this becomes something that becomes a problem for you, we want to be able to help.
Well, I appreciate that.
Think of it like this, Ornan. How can you spin the shaft when there's no shaft on that thing?
You know, that's why I was thinking about it. I haven't spun the shaft in quite some time. That always makes me think of my mother.
See? And
Roz.
You used to love spinning the shaft.
I
spin the shaft every night.
Well, I'll have to think on it.
Okay.
As Ornan moves off, Annalise turns to whoever is still standing by her and says, she says, we need to remove that curse.
Yeah, I guess, do we sneak in and like surprise him at night?
I do not think that's the best way to remove a curse.
That's when I spin the shaft. Don't come in.
She says, I believe Aona could give me the power to remove that curse. And it should be quick and painless. I just would need to touch him, and I would need to prepare. I would need to commune with Aona tonight, and I believe she will grant me the power to remove that curse.
I appreciate that. Mawgrim,
Yes.
is that something you'd be able to do? And given your closer relationship, might it be easier for you to sneak that in?
Non-consensually exercise him?
Let me think on this. I suppose with a little bit of time I could prepare something. I believe I've done some research on Kalimvor, and there was something about how to potentially disrupt the attunement to a different item like that. But I might need a day or so, or at least the evening to prepare.
Either way, the idea is good, though, Annalise. And I think we need to do something.
Okay.
The problem with waiting for him to change his mind is if this is a curse, he will not.
She nods knowingly, yes.
It's not his mind to change at this point.
She says, wise words, Guy.
I'm full of surprises, Wink.
She says, well, I'm headed to bed. I will see you in the morning at first light. I will still commune with Aona in case, Mawgrim, you need some help. But we'll see how things go in the morning. And then she says good night, and she heads up the stairs and to her room. Cilvy is already up in her room. Ornan, you wander over, I think, to the bar, and Danon looks over at you, and she's like, well, I'm headed to bed. Gonna go roll in the hay.
You're sleeping with the animals?
Yes.
Oh, you don't, good night.
She says, good night, Ornan. And then she heads out the door and goes into the stable.
You don't think that maybe Ornan, it might feel nice to have a little sleep or roll in the rounding in the hay?
Oh,
roll into hay.
I didn't think it was an invitation. Did I miss a cue?
Nothing like having a cow watch you do it.
Come on, man. If I picked up the hint, then that's pretty bad. I mean,
if I know anything about these hippie types, they're all about free love.
Wait, it's free? Mawgrim puts his coins back in his wallet.
Oh my gosh. As the night goes on, Danon sleeps in the stable. You all, one by one, make your way up to bed. Cilvy, you are up there first. You start working on one of your spells. Real quick, which spell are you working on for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm out of money. How are you scribing more spells?
No, I'm pretty much almost out. So I was actually just going to keep working on it because I was going to do water breathing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So I was going to say I was working on it, and then I was hoping we would get paid, and then hopefully.
Oh, gotcha. So when you get the money, you can just spend it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. And Mawgrim, you are going to be working on.
Yeah. So one of the things that he had stolen from the research laboratories of the Krahanest when he left the Order was a kind of spell book, it's not a spell book. It's like research notes. And one was arcane phase disruption and its methods. And so he's going to work on how he can disrupt the arcane connection and the curse that currently holds sway over Ornan.
Okay. All right. And then I think Guy? Corwin is still sitting at the bar.
Yeah, go get a drink and then catch up with Corwin. I'm in a room.
as night falls completely and the inn grows quiet, as the town of Martin's Rest falls asleep, we are going to stop there for tonight. And next time we're together, we're going to see what's going on with these bandits and if Neldor is right as to where their hideout is. Thank you guys for playing. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I had a great time. If you like what we're doing, go check out our Patreon. You can get a look at Martin's Manor. You can get a look at Charisse. What's her name again? Charisse Shireen Shadow Rose, and see what I'm talking about.
Countess.
You can also see Gwendolyn Martin, and you can see how she looks like Judy Greer. So you can go become a patron. Also, just go leave us a review. It really helps us out. It helps other people find us. And we really appreciate just all your love and all your support. And until we get together next time, we hope you have a great time.